such a modern invention. Its history can be traced back over 4,000 years. However, the guitar as we think of it today was conceived around the turn of the 20th century. The introduction of the electric guitar allowed for the instrument to take a more prominent position in ensembles because of its enhanced volume. Popularized by musicians like Charlie Christian, this new verbose sound paved the way for the guitar becoming a forefront instrument like it is used today. The Fender Stratocaster is a model of electric guitar designed in 1954 by Leo Fender, Bill Carson, George Fullerton, and Freddie Traveris. The Fender Musical Instruments Corporation has continuously manufactured the Stratocaster from 1954 to the present day. It is a double cutaway guitar with an extended top horn shape for balance. Along with the Gibson Les Paul, it is one of the most often emulated electric guitar shapes. Although the initial release of the Stratocaster came in 1954, the guitar did not begin to achieve popularity until Buddy Holly appeared on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1957 playing a maple neck Strat, thus giving him the title the First Strat Hero and forever becoming an iconic symbol of his musical legacy.
That was my pal Glasses and I'm the Glider. Thanks for tuning in to Frames and Fame. Broadcasting from the Buddy Holly Center, this is episode 4, The First Strat Hero. This is our fourth, hopefully of many, in a long series of podcasts that will deal largely with Buddy Holly, early rock and roll, and the collection at our museum, located at 1801 Crickets Avenue in Lubbock, Texas. If you enjoyed this podcast, please don't forget to check out our sister podcast, Wings of War, which focuses on World War II, the American Military Glider Program, and the collection at the Silent Wings Museum.
Buddy Holly owned several guitars during different stages of his short career. As a child, he had taken lessons on the piano, steel guitar, and violin. It was around the age of 11 when he told his parents he wanted to play a guitar, like the one Travis has. Travis, of course, being his second oldest brother. His first guitar was a used Harmony which was purchased at a pawn shop. The Harmony Company was an American company that, in its heyday, was the largest musical instrument manufacturer in the United States, which specialized in string instruments. According to family and friends, Buddy would play this everywhere, especially on the bus to and from school. Buddy's first electric guitar was a 1953 vintage Gibson Les Paul Gold Top. It was originally purchased by Buddy in 1954 along with an amp from the Adair Music Company in Lubbock, Texas. Buddy used this guitar in a number of programs while attending Lubbock High School. This guitar and amp are currently on display at the Buddy Holly Center. Scratched on the back part of the amp speaker are the words Buddy Holly. However, a few months after buying the Les Paul, Buddy traded it towards his first Fender Stratocaster. It was on this guitar that Buddy recorded most of his major hits. In today's market, Buddy's first Strat would have cost him approximately $2,785. The Fender Stratocaster was the first guitar to feature 3 pickups and a spring tension tremolo system, as well as being the first Fender with a contoured body. The Stratocaster's sleek, contoured body shape, officially referred to by Fender as the Comfort Contour body, differed from the flat, slab-like design of the Telecaster. The Stratocaster's double cutaways allows players easier access to higher positions on the neck. The Stratocaster is a versatile guitar, usable for most styles of music, and has been used in many genres, including country, rock, pop, folk, soul, rhythm and blues, jazz, punk, and heavy metal. In this regard, the Strat was the perfect guitar for Buddy since he loved to incorporate several genres into his musical repertoire.
After returning to the United States from their UK tour, Buddy Holly and the Crickets took part in Alan Freed's Big Beat Tour. This 44-day circuit featured several other big-name artists, including Chuck Berry, Jerry Lee Lewis, the Chantels, and the Alan Freed Orchestra featuring Sam the Man Taylor, just to name a few. It was this tour when Buddy Holly and the Crickets began flying to some of their venues. It was while on this tour that a mystery that is still unsolved to this day, involving Buddy Holly and his Fender Stratocaster, took place. According to Jerry Allison, the drummer of the Crickets, on April 15, 1958, while in St. Louis, Missouri, Buddy and the gang stopped at a burger joint to get some food. Everyone went inside to order, but got the food to go. When they returned to the car only a few minutes later, almost everything had been stolen, including Buddy's Strat. Even now, almost 60 years later, the whereabouts of his guitar are still unknown. Buddy immediately ordered a new Fender Stratocaster from Manny's in New York and had it airmailed to him. This new Fender, the 1958 model Strat, is the guitar he used from then on.
Whether it was touring the United States or playing gigs abroad in Australia or the UK, his Fender Stratocaster went everywhere with him. So it is no surprise that one accompanied him while on the ill-fated Winter Dance Party Tour of 1959. Sometimes dubbed the worst planned tour in history, the Winter Dance Party Tour was scheduled for January 23rd through February 15th, 1959. This tour went through the heart of the American Midwest, with most of the shows in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. On February 2nd, the Winter Dance Party performed at the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa. This concert lasted from 8 p.m. to midnight, and after playing for over 1,500 patrons, the race was on to get to Moorhead, Minnesota, where a concert was scheduled for the next day. Originally, the Surf Ballroom was not on the tour itinerary. Early schedules show no performances between the Green Bay show on February 1st and the Moorhead show on the 3rd. The late edition of the show added extra stress, travel, and time restrictions to the already difficult tour arrangement. So far, the bands had been shuttled from venue to venue via bus. However, these buses were not equipped for the harsh Midwestern winter and frequently broke down. In lieu of this, and wanting some much-needed rest, Buddy Holly chartered a small private plane to take himself, Waylon Jennings, and Tommy Allsup to Moorhead. However, the final passenger list included Roger Peterson, the pilot, Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper. Due to the small size of the plane, most of the personal possessions of the passengers were still on the tour bus. This is, of course, why Buddy's final Fender Stratocaster survives to this day. Currently, this guitar is on display at the Buddy Holly Center.
Along with Buddy's glasses, the Fender Strat has become a symbol that represents his life and legacy. A statue of Holly in his hometown of Lubbock, Texas, portrays him playing his Stratocaster, and the guitar is also engraved on his tombstone. Buddy Holly and the Stratocaster became synonymous with one another, and as such, they drove each other to greater fame.